Hi, Catherine here, and we are at the headquarters of SAP Americas in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. And we're here for a design thinking workshop. We've got about 50 or 60 faculty and students from a bunch of universities around the Philadelphia area. And we're here to experience the design thinking process. So if you think about the different themes in our MOOC, design thinking is a lot like the problem-solving process that we're going to be talking about in the class. It incorporates intelligent fast failure, it incorporates prototyping, it incorporates all kinds of idea techniques, both generating techniques and selecting them. The cool thing about being here today is that we're going to be able to see how this process works on real-world problems that are of interest to corporations. So what you're going to be seeing are different teams of students and faculty, all mixed up from the different universities, working on these real-world challenges, coming up with solutions, prototyping them, and then actually trying to sell them to us at the very end. So I think you're going to like this experience, and let's go inside and see what's going on.
Yeah, my name is Carsten Becker. I'm working for the University Alliance, and I travel around the world to make great design thinking sessions with students and professors, of course, and other people. When we talk about design thinking, as you probably know, is we have 6 steps. Yeah? It starts, of course, always with the right challenge. Yeah? So you always need to focus on what is the problem I want to solve. And then, of course, this is the scoping phase, right? And after that, you have to make sure that whatever is available as an information about this challenge, to make sure that you get this information. And there are many ways to do so. So you always can do internet research, but what we're also doing is go out and ask people, ask the potential user, ask the people what kind of problems they have, and things like that. And very important is when you then come back that you share that with the group so that everybody really can get benefit of that. After that, of course, we try to reorganize all the information we select also information we get from the interviews, from the research. So we make sure that we have the right spots, the right categories for what kind of information is available. And then we try in the synthesis phase to bring this information together to create, for example, personas where we say, okay, what is a typical user? What is a typical person using the solution we are building? And this, of course, helps you to jump into the later user. After that, of course, we have an ideation part. This is all about brainstorming. So the people, based on the information they cover the whole day, they start to be creative. And it's pretty easy because when you are really into the topic, it's much easier to think about a solution. That's why the first 3 steps are so important. And the ideation, then of course, is just only write down all the great ideas that people have. A little bit heavier part then is to vote for the right ideas, right? We have some tools which makes it easier for the people to say, okay, we have so many ideas, what are the best ideas we could use? After this ideation part, then of course you have to go back to the potential user and ask them, okay, what do you think? Yeah, we have some great ideas, what do you think about it? So we validate the ideas, and then, as I said, go back to the user and ask them, what do you think about it? And maybe, if the user tells us, okay, that's a great idea, but I don't understand that, or I don't like this, then of course you can go back and start again, creating new ideas and so on. After that, of course, you go and develop a prototype. And prototype does not mean you sit down for 3 weeks and develop a first piece of software. No, it's really low fidelity mock-ups. Yeah, it's telling the story. It's typical elevator pitch, I would say, to say, okay, what is the idea behind? And then, of course, if it's really proven, that if you have a prototype which is working, which is validated, then of course you can go and implement a first prototype, let's say, or you implement the solution on the customer side.
Brainstorming and then focusing on this one idea that I want to develop further. So I'm liking it so far.
Having this process where you look at the market you want to target and you develop a product specifically for them, it perfectly combines that engineering mindset with that business element.
And help me to go from step to recognize the problem and solve the problem in a different way, and I really love it.
Design thinking is really not rocket science. It's, you know, it's not complicated. A lot of the tools we are using are pretty simple, and many of them are introduced 20, 30, 40 years ago. Yeah, brainstorming, that's, you know, that's nothing highly sophisticated, whatever, but it's working. And that's the great thing when you, what I like when I think about design thinking is that you have really easy to use tools, and they are so powerful when you put them in the right direction and when you put it in a process. And that's what I love when I think about design thinking. And it's always great to see, because in the morning when you talk to people, and you always see that in the faces, that the people do not really believe that it's working, you know. They always wish and okay, I will try, but when you look at them, and when you do that again in the evening, you always see that it's again proved that it's working, and that is great.